Welcome to the Pillar of Salt podcast, where there is no topic and we have no plan. My name is Hank. With me, as always, is Ben.
I have a plan. I have so many plans. I've just been...
Well, let me know.
I mean, for me, this feels like maybe a pile of salt, just because I've been taking in a lot of things.
Nice.
Also, I apologize for tired voice. I literally just woke up, so.
Hell yeah. I got home from work and had a great dinner, so I'm feeling good.
Nice. What was the dinner?
I ordered chicken tenders and French fries.
Ooh. It has been a hot minute since I've had any sort of like chicken tenders or chicken nuggets or anything. So
It was like, I don't know, a month ago, and I hadn't had any in fucking forever, and then I've eaten it like every day. Almost. I've just been... Now, there were like a couple days where I just decided to gorge, and I ordered chicken tenders and fries and chicken nuggets and fries from the same
Fuck
place.
yeah, dude.
Didn't quite I would have like a little bit left at the end of that, but all the fries were gone.
Yeah, we did up first time in a bit for pizza, and first time in a long time we did some Pizza Hut, just because they had a decent deal for 3 pizzas. It's a little better here. It's definitely slightly different. Like, sometimes I would take a bite and I'd be like, yeah, this is Pizza Hut. but then like for one of the other pizzas, I'm like, this is nothing like stuff. But
yeah, I hate Pizza Hut.
Oh,
I will not eat free Pizza Hut. If it's there, not gonna eat it.
I don't know how you feel about them in general, but how do you feel about breadsticks?
I don't eat breadsticks really.
Okay. I've always been fine with Pizza Hut breadsticks, but
the pizza itself, Pizza Hut,
it's very lackluster.
Not a fan. Any other chain pizza? Great, give it to me if it's cheese pizza. I'm not a toppings guy, but Pizza Hut.
So that's actually what I was surprised by. One of the it was a deal for like 3 set pizzas. And one of them was just a basic bitch cheese pizza. I'm like, okay, like it's been a while. It was not good, but I loved it because
I understand.
It was the exact same cheese flavor there was like cheese inside, like a filler cheese, I guess, or something. It was like a not a cream cheese, but something more along that consistency. And between the top layer of cheese, the weird sort of filling cheese, and the level of grease, it tasted exactly like these pizza fries that my school used to serve. So it was like incredibly nostalgic. Like I haven't tasted that shit in like 10 years. And I was
you take a bite of this Pizza Hut pizza, you have an anime flashback.
Like, wow, this is garbage.
It's like, oh, it's garbage.
I ate it wasn't even a big pizza. Like the slices weren't big or anything. I ate like 2 slices, maybe 3, or like 2.5, because Anya split 1.5, and I like my stomach was hurting. I'm like, yep, takes me back. Just like
tears running down your face.
It was nice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Honestly, the main reason was initially I wanted some cheesy crust. And there was like, we didn't feel like searching for a chain that would deliver that had cheesy crust, because I think it's not a thing over here as much.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that does sound more like an American thing.
Yeah.
What can we shove cheese into this time?
It's a pizza, but there's a second smaller pizza stuffed into the crust of the first one.
Wait, you're feeding your pizzas pizza?
How do you think they get so tender?
Mad pizza disease.
That sounds like a fucking South Park bit or something. Like a pizza
does.
industrial
Not
pizza
wrong.
farm. Good
The
lord.
pizza tree that eats pizza and
It's like
bursts pizza.
yeah, like it's sent like to fertilize the ground you have to like grind up like use pizza compost. Discarded husks of pizza past.
So you take the crust that's left in the pizza box and you plant that in the dirt, and then one day a pizza tree will grow.
Yeah, it's like cutting off the top of a pineapple or whatever.
Exactly.
Man, there was
Definitely how that works.
there was one place like I think I've mentioned before, like pizza is one of those weird trigger foods for me. Like I've had to blacklist pizza, not one pizza place, but there's like some brands of I do up or I I did up in America. I do up frozen pizzas quite a bit, and it like got to the point where I had a rotation of brands because like super consistently some like brands of pizza would just destroy my insides. Flavor was fine, but I would just be gone. And unfortunately, one of the pizza places, well, the only pizza place so far that I've had to like blacklist.
Yeah.
I still eat
Was
it.
it just like undercooked?
I don't think so.
Is it too greasy?
It's not the grease, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it's something to do with their like their tomato sauce or something. Because one of the brands, their chicken Alfredo, totally fine. Anything with like traditional stuff like pepperoni or supreme, I'm dead.
Interesting.
The chain place, I have no idea. We went there a lot, and like my family still orders it quite a bit when we get pizza. Like if we order to my grandparents' house or would go out with them, like when they were a bit younger. So, like I still remember the first time going there. It was also the first time I had ever encountered Hawaiian pizza, like up front on a menu presented to me, and I ate it, and I just like shitting out my entire insides afterwards, and I'm like, I don't like pineapple pizza. And then later
ruined.
Later I tried it again, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, it was that brand. But for a while there, I avoided pineapple on pizza like the plague.
Yeah, those you could have those bad experiences where you're just like, I can't do that again. I don't have the courage to try again
Yeah.
for a while. Like I really like getting French toast at places, and then like at some diner I had French toast that was not like cooked enough or something, and I could not eat French toast for a long time after that.
That checks out.
It's like, this is oof.
Oof. My friend has it's almost one of my fears at this point. Like now I'm kind of scared of it happening to me. So he apparently used to love tomatoes when he was a kid. Like he would eat them like an apple. Like he would just devour a tomato. And one time he bit into a tomato, and it turns out the outside was fine, but the inside was like totally rotten. And
Just thinking of that episode of Simpsons where they breed tobacco, where it's the tomato on the outside and it's like all tobacco on the inside.
Oh God! I mean, it might as well be. Yeah, he staunchly refuses to eat tomatoes. Like even like on pizza or something.
Oh,
like
God.
Just nothing. And I'm scared of that. Like I never used to do tomatoes too much, but since coming here, I've been doing it more, and because Anya is pretty into like just getting the small ones and like eating a half of it with a bit of salt or whatever. And even though I cut it in half and I can see the inside, I'm still scared that it'll happen to me.
I mean, yeah. And, like if you cut open your tomato and it's black, don't eat it.
Maybe it's fine though. Oh, it's just a fancy
But I'm
French tomato.
so hungry.
You need to let it rot to get the flavor.
Oh,
It's like lutefisk or whatever, the Norwegian like rotten herring.
I only like my bananas after they've turned black.
Ugh. I mean, if you're baking with them, sure, but
You just want them bruised to hell. You take your bananas in a sack and you like ring them on the stoop like you're ringing out a carpet. They're beat to hell, and you're like, oh, perfect.
yeah, that's the
Liquified within the peel.
Oh,
Ugh, I grossed myself out. Ugh.
you just
I don't do that often, but man.
You complete this process. You take your knife, you slice off the tip of the banana, and you just tilt it back. You got a little fresh beverage in here. Just open up the throat muscles and let it drip down.
Just suck it down.
Oh.
It like crunches like a water ball.
Oh. God damn it. It's pretty fucking bad. Oh.
This episode is now cursed. I apologize. But
I woke up for this.
I mean, look, this is what happens when there's not a plan. Sometimes you become cursed. Sometimes it was a good night for a curse.
I've been reading a good book. I've been playing some new games, like some films that I have been interested in watching and stuff, and maybe mentioning. But no. Rotten Bananas are a timeless classic. Oh my god.
Ugh, just like that liquid black sludge coming out the top of a banana.
I mean,
with that,
there's probably there's a good like metal song in there. Just name it Black Sludge, but you're talking about like drinking a rotten banana.
Ugh.
Opening line: black sludge dripping from the peel. Something I can only feel.
Turns out it's great medicine for treating wounds.
Oh, I mean that sounds
Just
about
rub
right.
it on all your open sores.
Disgusting.
Okay, we have to move on. We have to.
We don't
Stop
have
me.
To. We don't have to.
Help.
We have.
Please.
We have at least 40 minutes left of banana content to sling out here.
Oh no! Please, no.
Rotten Banana Super Soaker. It's the classic the classic commercial from your childhood with the screaming delighted children, but instead it's banana sludge.
Fuck.
I don't even know how we'll never financially recover from this topic.
Like you start a YouTube based on rotten banana content, and the clicks will flow in.
Oh shit!
With that niche YouTube market.
I mean, don't even start. There's someone out there who would pay like upwards.
Someone's definitely beaten us to it. That already exists. Don't worry about it.
Someone's beaten us to it, but like there's also someone out there who is willing and ready to pay upwards of several $1,000s to watch a extremely like a woman of specific proportions slurp down a rotten banana.
And then it becomes a fad, and then you're getting like the Pikachu rotten banana video and the Rick and Morty rotten banana video.
Ugh. Spider-Man and Elsa drink rotten banana. Pee pee poo poo, very funny.
I mean, no, look, those videos are named in things that cannot be spoken by the human language because they're based on what toddlers type into a search engine by mashing on the keyboard.
Ugh, disgusting.
That's a dark underbelly of YouTube.
Yeah. Um, I don't think I mentioned this on the podcast previously, but like the latest dark underbelly of YouTube that someone like casually exposed me to. It's not like the darkest thing. It's just an unfortunate side effect of kids, imitating what they see, I guess, or like a kid starting a vlog, that sort of level of disgust.
Yeah.
And someone said when they were looking for new ASMR videos, because a lot of that shit is now like it is a model or someone with an OnlyFans or just straight up a porn star and super high production.
I mean, Pikachu put out an ASMR video. That was where I was pulling from.
His ASMR video needed work. Real talk. I have feedback.
I mean, he said Pikachu, so I don't know what you want from him.
Give me his address. I'll hook him up with some tips.
Okay, email Nintendo at nintendo.com.
So one of the things that a lot of people like is like that amateur sound. And a lot of people, when they start out, they're like using earbuds or whatever to record. And it has like that certain, that warm feeling to it because of like the noise in the background and that sort of shit. That's whatever. I understand. It's like playing a vinyl or something. And one of the best ways to find these people apparently is to just sort by new on YouTube because, they're going to have 0 views. And someone said like within the last maybe year, 2 years, all of the new ASMR content on YouTube, or most of it, or a good chunk of it, is like kids. Like it'll be like a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old or 10 or something, and I'm like,
you don't want children popping up when you're looking at your amateur ASMR videos to jerk off to.
Hey, whoa, easy.
Ugh.
Are you insinuating that people beat it to Pikachu? You know what? That's a stupid. Of course they did. Am I fucking kidding?
What do you think Pikachu is putting that video out there?
Oh, God, yeah. Promo. It's a unspoken promo for his coming OnlyFans. For its coming OnlyFans. But yeah, no. Kids gently whispering in your ear is no fucking good.
No. That's
it is
a nightmare.
Absolutely cursed.
Stop. I mean, ASMR for me is cursed in general. I don't want any of that shit anywhere near me. It like actually induces like a rage-induced panic attack, like anxiety and anger.
Is it
like
a...
the only thing that's like it was actually worse for me was when I went to, my friend accidentally got us to see a movie in 4DX, which is where like they have a fog machine in the theater and fans, and also your seats like rock around.
Yeah,
and instantly, like my heart rate fucking skyrocketed, and I had to leave.
Yeah,
like it was so like it took me a fucking while to calm down. Also, they had a thing that would spray you with water, so my friend told me that there was a later part where when a man drowned, he got sprayed in the face.
Yeah, that bit you mentioned before.
But yeah, like the main experience for me was I have to fucking leave. I can't. Yeah, like my heart rate is fucking out of control.
So
I'm so mad.
So with
ASMR gets close to that for me.
Like, is it every aspect of it? Like, no matter what the sound is it just the like quiet binaural thing, or is it like? I mean, I don't like someone slurping in my ear.
I mean, personally. That Pikachu video didn't do it. I mean, that's how I can tell it's bad ASMR.
It doesn't give me anxiety.
It doesn't like send me into a blind rage. It doesn't make me Hulk out.
Cause I mean, everyone you talk to will probably have a different definition, but like, there's a lot of stuff where it's like just kind of normal vlogging, but just quietly spoken, and not even like whispered or like
If it's
binaural
if
shit,
it's
but
if it's to hit ASMR like levels, I hate it.
okay.
Like if it's like a normal, if it's a person talking and I can listen to it as a person talking, I guess that'd be fine. Just someone soft spoken. Not generally my preferred thing to listen to anyway, though. But
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
seeking. I'm not that nuanced in it because I'm not seeking it out because I've
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
literally it just.
I think it's definitely like a
hate it.
yeah. I mean like for me it started with talking a little bit cuz like I stumbled upon it. Like I found a video that was I don't even know how the hell I came across it. It was talking about bat facts, and this was early. Like this was before ASMR took off. And I'm like, I want to know about bats. And no, I remember it. I remember. Okay, I was looking. I had a bad headache, and I couldn't get rid of it. And someone said like ASMR helped them. I'm like, I have no fucking clue what this is. And I looked it up, and this is one of the first videos that showed up. And it was literally just someone like reading bat facts, but they had like overlaid it so they'd be reading several different things in each ear at once. And it was like kind of wild. So it was definitely like a, you know, something I'd not experienced before. And I don't know.
Some people listen to that video and discover they're into ASMR. Some people listen to that video and discover they're a furry. It's, you know, it's all part of the circle of life.
Yeah, well, I was listening and being like, man, ASMR is cool. Someone else was like, I want to fuck a bat.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing that, like, some people are super adamant about the, like, either it's fake, like, you're not, it's all in your head, you don't actually, like, have a response to this, or, like it's all like for jacking off or whatever. And I know this isn't true because sometimes in university there would be this chick that I absolutely despised. Not my arch nemesis, but just someone I hated, kind of. Mostly because when we were talking about a Mexican author and there was a picture of him on the projector, she said, "Why is he so white?" among other things. So sometimes she would be like drumming her fingers, or like even sometimes eating, which I fucking hate. I hate that eating sounds sometimes set me off a little bit, like make my ears tingle, and it annoys the shit out of me. Like I have to actively like try to turn it off. So like that's how I know it's not fake. It's like I would rather not have you eating chips in class be like a objectively pleasurable sound to my body. It's no good. Please stop.
I did not consent. Please.
It's non-consensual ASMR. I did find out there's like the unintelligible whispering, which 99% of the times just means they talk like this and nothing else changes.
Yeah.
But
Don't like that.
that one annoys me. Like that sound annoys me. But
Yeah,
some
it's
people,
annoying.
some people do the thing where they only pronounce like if you take the word committed, right? You would basically you would have a very strong like tongue sound on the T, D, and C, and then the rest of the word would be almost intelligible. And you know, because you know what the word should be, you can place it, but you can't actually hear all of it. Anya cannot stand that. Like it actually like it. I don't know if it like gives her a bit of anxiety or like just freaks her out. She doesn't like it, but like I did that to her once as a joke, and she's like, "Nope."
I relate.
Yeah. Sometimes like I don't know. I like joking about it. Like sometimes I'll just walk up behind her and I'll be like, "Do you like ASMR?"
That's not even. That's just making slurping noises.
That's what some of it is, though, and it's ridiculous. Like, okay, dude who's been, like, quietly drumming on wooden blocks for 12 years? Yeah, sure. Okay, I can see it. a random chick who's like, I eat a pickle ASMR, and she's like deep throating a giant cucumber-sized pickle while crunching down on it. No. Please stop.
I mean, I would assume it's somebody's fetish.
Oh, yeah. Well, food eating videos are a thing anyway, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's apparently some people find ASMR relaxing. Yeah, I have the exact opposite reaction, but
Yeah.
apparently, as I'm to understand it, some people can like actually calm down. Like it helps them calm down, which
Yeah.
not my experience, but
the like the thing that and I don't like in the world of YouTube ASMR as a whole, and why I think there's such a weird perception of it, like this stuff where it's like not just role play, but it's like girlfriend whispers affirmations to you, or like girlfriend softly sings you to sleep or something. Like it's like whatever, I guess, but
yeah, I'm not into it.
I
Whatever. It's if it's somebody's thing, that's fine.
I can't imagine it's healthy though. If you're seeking out fake girlfriend affirmation videos, like that can't be helping whatever you're going through.
Probably.
I don't know,
but I don't know. I don't want to. I'm judging all of them, but I don't want to judge.
So
whatever. Just I don't need to know about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like whatever you got to do to get through the day, I guess, as long as it's not hurting anyone.
Rotten banana slurpee ASMR. Warning, cough alert. Actually, also, that's been the big thing, which I suppose has affected several things on YouTube, but like YouTube implementing their new shitty mid-roll ads has like fucked up that entire.
Oh hell yes.
There's
so good.
So many people bitching like
someone's zetting out.
Yeah, I was almost asleep listening to this video, and then like a Hyundai commercial like fucked me up.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, man. Just getting absolutely blasted. Especially if it's like the one shot, like older videos where they're never uploading again.
Mm-hmm. This is why I use AdBlock.
I don't
pay for YouTube Red or whatever.
It blows my mind that people are like, I can't imagine browsing the internet without AdBlock right now. And the amount of people who are still somehow using Reddit, but also not using we're past the point where using Reddit means you're internet savvy enough to like have your shit.
I mean, those people are paying for the internet, so it's like okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Whenever ad revenue exists, they're the ones creating it. So like,
yeah,
I feast on what they provide. But I find it actually I can't justify not having ad block. Ads are so fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's the
they're
problem.
So
dude.
Aggressively awful.
Yeah, man.
I cannot deal.
It would be one thing if they were like decent, if they were at least palatable, or like if there was some maybe we'll get there eventually, but like even I think just having
and also if there weren't so many pernicious ads out there that are actually evil.
Yeah.
And there's like
like at some point you would think for like ASMR videos, right? I'm sure at some point we'll have some sort of artificial intelligence that will be selecting like almost ASMR style ads to put in those videos, right? Because people will be much more likely to just listen through them or watch them. And that's especially that one dude that Paul turned me on to, the painting restoration guy. His stuff, it's not like truly ASMR, but it does the same. When he's scraping paint and shit, it does the same job. And all of his sponsored shit, like, he just talks through it in the same kind of calm voice. So, if you're just listening, why would you change?
I mean, honestly, that's the form of advertising in those videos that makes sense to me, is when they're just part of the video, because then the person who made the video is actually getting the money, not like YouTube scrounging on this thing somebody just put up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I still remember a long, long time ago, before our voices had even changed, Jeremy found a glitch in Grand Theft Auto 3, or encountered a glitch, and I think just his kid brain, like, he uploaded it on YouTube and titled it the most clickbait thing in the entire world, which was not super popular yet at this time, so it was like infinitely more effective. That fucker garnered like 500,000 views very quickly, and it was around, like, as soon as it like broke 100,000, like, YouTube is like, yo, put an ad on this video, monetize it, and he couldn't because it was copyrighted content. Like, they wouldn't let him because it was a video game, and I'm like, can you imagine?
Can you imagine? I can't imagine, actually. Like, just, probably be I don't know. The world of Let's Playing was better before people were making money at it and turned it into their jobs. I don't know.
Oh, dude, for sure.
Because when people were doing it for fun instead of having to put out things to feed themselves or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, I have very mixed feelings about, like, whenever I see something about like YouTube changing their policy, or like something happening because, like, to a content creator, I'm never sure who I side with, because, like,
well, I know I don't side with YouTube. YouTube is fucking people over, but the problem is that job sucks.
Yeah.
Of like creating YouTube content, and part of it's YouTube, but also part of it is like the amount of the way the whole business, the money around it works.
Yeah,
it's kind of
like,
bad.
I don't. There's people who, I mean, I don't. Maybe it's the cynic in me. Like, I don't necessarily think that YouTube has to cater to people who use its platform as a job, but in my initial thought process is like, that's not what this platform was made for. But now that that's what the platform is, like, yeah, you have to take that into account. On the other hand, I think it's ridiculous to have a YouTube channel as your main source of income, especially if you're not, like, mega famous on YouTube. Like not main source of income, but, like, no backup plan. Like, nothing to fall back on should that go away, because
that's
the fickle.
That's definitely a crazy thing to do.
Like, if you make enough to retire, sure, whatever.
I mean, but the people who create my favorite stuff on YouTube generally, like, have a Patreon. They don't actually rely on YouTube. so their YouTube content can kind of be whatever they need it to be, because they're getting the support they need to do their thing. Like, that makes way more sense to me as a way for some to exist, because the way YouTube, like, changes their way they monetize stuff in ways that, like, fuck people who have been built, like, using their analytics and basing their business based on that. I don't that doesn't sound that, just on paper, that doesn't sound like a way I that's gonna create content I'm actually interested in is like feeding the algorithm. I want like interesting videos about stuff
Yeah.
and ideas or whatever. Maybe allow like if they're people are funded outside of YouTube and then can just do whatever they want on YouTube, it works better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like Lindsay Ellis stuff, Todd in the Shadows, like some of that essay stuff. All those videos I really like.
Oh shit. Thank you for saying essay and YouTube in the same sentence. There was a Horizon video I wanted to watch. I watched like 5 minutes of it during my workday this week, and I'm like, I can't get sucked into this shit. I need to work, and I turned it off, and then promptly forgot it existed.
Yeah. And I fucking hate, like, I don't trust the YouTube algorithm at all.
Oh
So
no, dude.
I'm never exploring YouTube outside of like stuff I've already,
Dude,
like
yeah.
I'm getting from somewhere else. So in general, my YouTube algorithm mostly recommends me videos I've watched before.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it.
Like,
I'll just watch this same video over and over again. It's fine. This one song,
yeah.
whatever.
Or like,
I'll watch these episodes of Dragon Ball Z Abridged again. I zone out.
I suppose mine is like kind of working, or it focuses on some stuff like super strongly. So like it works a little bit, but it's still like a very just for how I use YouTube, it's such a tight circle. Like, okay, sometimes I will click on a speed running video or something that looks interesting.
It's amazing
But-
though how quickly if you click out of your circle, it will like the algorithm will like feel like it's unchained and start suggesting all kinds of stuff until you like close back in.
I have, I experienced a weird thing. I assume it's a similar process with Instagram's search feature, and for a while, like you can just like I literally went through and like searched for tags and shit and like some Star Wars stuff, like some comic stuff, and like kind of decided what I wanted to see when I just mindlessly scrolled through, and it was fine. Like I would like some Star Wars stuff and whatever after it started recommending me shit, and then randomly it would show like for some reason uncensored like these super egregious like zit popping videos or like huge blister popping, like absolutely fucking disgusting. I'm like, what have I done that suggests I would like this? Was it the puppy video? Are puppies linked to
Yes.
this now? Because I'm out.
Yes.
And I would have to
Mistakes were
go
made.
I would have to go and like block several of those videos and then like go through and like as many Star Wars things as I could or whatever.
Yeah.
And it would do that like once maybe every couple of months. Like I would just open up Instagram and like, hey, do you want to see this man like pop his entire back? No, please.
I've heard stories about like how Facebook ads will like they were using political ads targeted at like women who liked dog videos.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's like the internet is a cursed place.
Or like someone the person, I don't know, someone posted a screenshot of like their Facebook or whatever, and there was like some ad with like it was advertising like not porn but something up there, and they're like, I can't believe that Facebook allows these ads on and blah blah blah, and someone's like, you know that it like pulls from what you're looking for, right? Like it doesn't just advertise things out of nowhere at this point.
I mean, maybe he was looking at dog videos and they targeted people who were looking at dog videos. You don't know. You don't know his life.
I guess, yeah. Everybody's
It's not
fucked
like
up.
he uploaded a screenshot and had a tab to porn showing in his screenshot of what he was taking a picture of or whatever. I think some politician did that. I don't remember.
Oh, that, yeah. I live for that shit, dude. Or it's like if it's like a like professor forgets to tab out and he shares the computer screen and it's like anal nurses 9 raw dog, and they're just like it full in the middle of the video just going.
No.
It's like, my dude, what are you doing?
Control yourself.
You wouldn't think it'd be
or learn how to use your computer properly.
Right.
I don't know.
Dude, it kind of along with the ad block thing, it still blows me away that like people I think generally people have no idea how to use computers. Like
Yeah.
I always think that they do because like, no, we use computers all the time, every day at this point. Like if someone is 20 years old right now, they've used computers their entire life easily.
Yep.
And some people are still like, how do I copy paste? And it blows me away. Obviously, if you're like 60 or 70 or 80 or whatever, fine, okay,
Yeah.
like nobody cares. But if you're like 18, like and you don't know like how to get into your C drive or something, like what? It's wild to me.
I feel like maybe if like for kids that are younger, like computers are so much easier, and like if you have like just use like an iPad or whatever, like some of the ways in which you use a computer are like obscure. Like you don't need to know that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where like the older back the older back with computers you were exposed to, the more shit you had to know to be able to use them.
Yeah, that's
and as
true.
they've gotten easier, like I could kind of understand knowing less because you don't need to, you just don't need to know stuff. Whereas like when I was growing up with computers, I felt like I needed to know. I learned stuff because I needed to or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are fucking bad at using computers.
Yeah. Or I guess like maybe a division in like if there was ever a problem with my computer, like an actual problem, I'm Googling that shit and I'm going to figure it out. Like even when I was like 13 or whatever and something was up with the family desktop, like I'd try to fix it myself if possible. And, you know, on the other side of the coin, like the computer's broken in any way. Okay, we're taking it to the shop. I'm not dealing with this. Which I suppose is like how many people drive a car and they don't change their own oil or something, even though that's incredibly easy to do at the end of the day. Talking about like need to learn things, I have seen it. It makes sense. People talking about like if they set up a block on their router, you know, for their kids to monitor their shit and all that. And the kids will they're like, yeah, my 6-year-old went into the router and removed the parental settings.
Yeah.
The need to overcome.
Exactly. I mean, I was tech support for my parents my whole life, dude. So like,
did your parents like play dumb to make you do stuff for them for like tech stuff?
No.
Okay.
I just literally did it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I was just always like kind of better at it and figured out what I was doing. Yeah. Like we would get like a router and like I would be the one to figure it out. Like I would read the manual and stare at it till I figured it out. Like my dad could have done it, but I don't know.
Yeah. No, for computer stuff, I was generally the same way after a certain point. My big thing, I was deceived because I remember when DVD players were still like pretty hot, and we didn't get one initially when they were like $200, but we still got one early enough. And my parents had like no idea how to work it, or they just were lazy. So I set it up and stuff. And every single time they wanted to watch a movie, they'd be like, Ben, come set up the DVD player and like get it to work and stuff. And I'm like, okay, like you guys are just really lazy and you're not, you know, it's not that difficult. It's basically VCR player. And I came home from a friend's house one day and they were watching a DVD. I never felt
Yeah.
so betrayed in my entire life. They were just using me
Look,
because they wanted to sit down on the couch.
Look, they had to figure it out. They figured it out. It took them a while.
I think they knew the
work.
whole time. They just wanted to,
Oh,
to have
oh,
a,
you think they knew the whole time?
Yeah, they
See,
just
my
wanted me
my
to do it.
vision. They were finally confronted with a situation where they didn't have you, so they had to figure it out themselves.
That was Anya figuring out how to turn on Netflix on the PS4. Oh, Ben's in a lesson, and I want to watch Netflix. How can I do this?
I mean, that's generally how I know everything I do on computers. I stare at it until I figure it out. Like, sometimes, like, I don't know. Like, I've had to help my mom with stuff, and my mom does not have, like, the intuition about computers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she just doesn't think about them in the right way to solve problems. So it's frustrating for me because it's just like my brain immediately goes to like, how do I look? Okay, this isn't working. Okay, search Google for how do I fix this.
Yeah.
And like the one time she wound up talking to a like scammer
Oh no.
tech support site and talked to me like crying. I'm like, you have to stop, please.
Yeah. What was I? Hang on, let me. Oh, yeah. I think like when it comes to like searching your own stuff and trying to fix problems and everything,
Yeah.
Anya's little brother is kind of in that stage, like what it sounds like your mom is like a bit, but I think it's like a lack of confidence because of course, like any problem you have, you're going to have. I don't know about other languages, but you get far more helpful results in English than in Russian. Just infinitely more content. So he knows that he'll search in Russian and he can't always find his issue or whatever. And he knows that English is better, but he like between maybe it's something with like understanding the results and then putting in the right thing, because you don't want to put in the wrong thing and fix something that's not broken. But there was one time where he came up to me and he's like, I forget what it was, I'll just make up, like, Ben, my mouse is not working when I open up this program and it does this specific thing. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, well, can you fix it? I'm like, well, why don't you just Google it? He's like, I don't know how to say it. I'm like, bud, you just told me. Like perfect English.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's
Yeah.
usually that's generally step one is what is the exact thing that's going wrong? Type it into Google.
Yeah.
And somebody else has figured out how to do it.
Or more often, someone in 2006 had the same problem and found no solutions.
Yes. I mean, yeah. When my computer like completely stopped booting, like whatever 2 years ago or whatever at this point, and I had to like talk to Microsoft support multiple times before they could figure out how to fix. Like that was harrowing, but that was just because like I didn't want to have to buy a new computer then, because that was around the time I was moving.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Too many things happening in my life right now for this computer to die on me.
Yeah, man.
And like that involved like I had to like manually boot into the thing because like the auto boot was not working. I don't even
fuck.
really remember what I was doing, but it was like I had to get really low base level to the system to get it to do to fix itself.
That's spicy.
So it was a headache because like the auto repair thing from like booting in like in not safe mode like the mode you would boot for to get to safe mode.
Oh,
like
the BIOS or
the BIOS menu, yeah,
or
like
something, yeah.
the
I know what
it
you mean.
wasn't working from the BIOS menu. I had to
Fuck.
get like to a lower level from there
We have to
to
go
do
deeper.
it like manually. And I had to have someone like yeah, it was a whole thing.
That's fucking
That's
wild.
like the craziest computer problem I've had ever. But it got fixed. This computer, I did
Yeah.
not have to get a new computer right then.
The the only the only two crazy things that happened both turned out to be stupid for my issues.
Nice.
The first one that plagued the first real computer I had for years, occasionally it would boot up and it wouldn't, like, my screen would just be black and I have to like turn it off and turn it back on a whole bunch of times. It turns out I had the monitor plugged into the wrong port for like the entire time. So sometimes it just wouldn't. It like wouldn't. It's something about it, like it just wouldn't show up. And literally, once I plugged it into like the actual port it was supposed to be into, like it was fine. Shockingly. And then with the computer I built for Anya's brother, she got a new stick of, they got a new stick of RAM for it, like an additional stick, I should say. And they installed it, and immediately it started having a whole bunch of problems and all this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. And it was a constant source of conflict. Like, Ani was frustrated at having to deal with all this shit. I was frustrated because I was 4,000 miles away trying to troubleshoot this. And it turns out, I definitely learned not to make assumptions. Ani is generally pretty good with computers, but it did not enter her mind of like, the computer was working fine, and I put in this new thing, and it immediately started being shitty. She did not think to just pull out the new stick of RAM and see if it still worked fine. So it turns out the entire time it was faulty hardware. So we did the things I did to that computer, absolutely unspeakable. The depths I delved, and it turns out it was like the most surface level problem possible. I was, and by that point I was just so drained. Like, she finally tells me after a year of semi-fighting about it, and it's like a constant thorn in my side. I'm like, yeah, cool. Are we done? Like, can we be done now, please?
That's funny. Yeah, I definitely have the thing though where like I can't troubleshoot over the phone. I have to like do the thing. Like the way I can solve a computer problem is by like touching it. I don't know. Like, I have to get in there. Well, I'm pretty useless at like troubleshooting over the phone because it's like, just Google it. I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes
I had a computer that died right when I bought it because one of the fans didn't work, so they would just overheat and turn off.
Yeah,
Then send that one back.
Yeah.
And I had a laptop where the fan inside of it broke, so I just got like an external fan and lived with that for the rest of that laptop's life.
Hell yeah.
But when I was younger, I definitely had the thing of like not knowing the specs of the like hand-me-down computers my parents had and wanting games for them.
Oh,
Definitely had the thing of like just wanting some dumb computer game at a store, and like my parents buy it for me and it doesn't work on a computer and they have to go return it. Like, that happened a couple times or whatever. Or just like the computer's just way too fucking old for this stupid $10 game you wanted or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's so I at least have that experience. Like, when I was younger, I knew how to use this computer, but I didn't really fucking know anything about it other than that. That's also like before. It's funny thinking back on my life of like times I didn't just Google shit. Like the time before, I would just Google everything. Of like, oh, I just don't know this thing, and I just have to live with the fact that I don't know it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
It's a different way of life. It's funny how much and like I feel like there are just people who don't realize that we live in a world now where you don't actually need to know anything. You just have to know how to look up things.
yeah.
Like being able to research is way more important than like having knowledge generally now.
Well, I
There's
always
so much stuff available.
it's one of the things I think about fairly frequently, and I think me and Anya are pretty good about it. But I do wonder because it was such a big part of like when I was in elementary school. You know, you get into especially for like the council wars, right? uh, you know, you're arguing with your friends, and whoever's the best arguer emerges victorious. And now, like, you can just if you want
Too much of an
there's-
introvert to ever actually have those arguments. Also, I was a Game Boy owner, not not a console owner.
Yeah.
Until, like, and then I wasn't really into arguing it. I was like,
yeah,
I
but
have,
with
I have a
really,
PlayStation, but
but
like
with
the
really,
N64 has Mario. That's pretty good. I don't know.
but with like any subject, right? Like
Yeah, sure.
what was a lively debate is now like, okay, well, why would I talk about it when I can look it up in 3 seconds? Okay, yeah, see, look, it was this country in
I definitely
1692.
I mean, honestly, my closest thing to that was playing the board game Diplomacy,
Looking up
which
rules.
is well, just it's like we would so like there would be a rules disagreement, and I was actually pretty good at arguing what I thought the correct rule was, and then I definitely think I've argued both sides of a rule depending on if it, and like in the moment thinking no, it's got to be this way.
Hell yeah.
Just cuz like that board game is based on like pretty simple interactions of like one unit supporting another, and like it's pretty binary, but sometimes in terms of like if something lost, like where things would retreat to, I think was where it was. I don't know. It was probably horseshit, but I remember actually being pretty good at arguing what I thought the rules was. Because I would also spend like all week thinking about playing this board game where we made like 2 moves a week.
Man, that's you've reminded me. One of my students asked me. He's like, "Do you play many PC games?" I'm like, "Yeah, you could say that." And I'm thinking he's gonna mention Cyberpunk, and instead he was like, "Do you know Heroes of Might and Magic?" I'm like,
Oh, hell yeah.
"Yes, I know of it. I played it once." And he said like that's the exact way. He said him and his friends have I assume it's like a similar setup to what we did for one of the Delphi nights, where it's just like
Like Parsec.
yeah, something like that. And he said like it's just like a long-term super casual game, so like they just kind of leave it, whoever's hosting or whatever leaves it running like most of the time, and everybody just kind of takes their turn whenever they can.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So
It's
like
a pretty good way to get around how fucking slow those games can be.
yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'll check in like once every couple weeks or whatever to see if I'm up and do my thing and then forget about it for a while. It seemed like a very chill way to do
that
it.
also sounds like a nightmare for the host.
Yeah. But I mean, if they're that chill about it, whatever.
Yeah. But that's a commitment to leave that fucking Parsec running 24/7.
It's Russia, dude. He's probably connected to the neighbor's Wi-Fi and plugged into the building's outlet in the hall.
Fair. Yeah, that's like getting back to like playing games by mail. Because I know, like, Diplomacy, that was a game that people would play by mail. I know.
Really?
Yeah.
That just seems exhausting.
There's also a computer game version, but I don't know. People play chess by mail. Look, when you didn't have the internet, you had to make do.
Ugh.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it sounds like a bad time. It sounds like a really boring time. I don't know. Internet's pretty okay in some ways in terms of making me less bored.
Yeah.
God, I was so bored as a kid. It was awful. I would just be bored. I would just come down and see my parents and go, I'm bored. I was awful about it. It was an awful thing to feel. And really, I just strive to never feel that way.
Oh,
Generally, don't ever feel bored anymore. It's pretty great.
I guess like, hmm. I suppose I don't feel that way anymore, but I've been trying to like I suppose the best way to phrase it is that I disliked that the way I was the way I was filling my time was constantly by doing something or taking something in. And it was like
Mm-hmm.
it was rubbing me the wrong way, and I'm like I remember like doing nothing now and again or like being bored, and I think a bit of that would actually be good. And like I think if you're doing nothing and it's your choice, like then it's not being bored. But definitely I've been trying to just like, maybe a bit before bed, I literally just sit. I just sit and like stare off for a little while, and it's been nice. Like
Yeah.
having a little break from all the screens
Mm-hmm.
and constant content and stuff. Especially if like if Anya like goes and hangs out with her family for a little bit at night or something, like just just sit and think about being in a fleshy robot suit.
No. Gotta listen to a podcast. Put on music.
Music I'll sometimes do. I've been trying to do a bit more. Uh, I mean, so often I'm listening to music while playing a game or something, but I've been
Yeah.
trying to just listen to music on its own more. That's been nice
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I don't, like if I'm like sitting at my desk just listening to music, that's not that much different from doing nothing, but it's not I don't feel bored.
Hmm.
uh it's just like I don't know. I'm getting fed the content I need to live. I don't know. Don't feel like that existential like I don't know. It's also like when I got bored as a kid, it was like I would start thinking about like, well, I can't remember what I had for lunch. So does that mean like the me that had lunch today died?
Fuck.
That me is fucking dead. Well, I'm like what like 4.
That's amazing. Oh my god.
I just remember like standing in the driveway, like super bored, thinking about
That's
how
unreal.
I was like kind of I've died because I forgot.
I've been reborn, sort of.
I'm like yeah. That's where my head was at. I need podcasts to fill the space. So I'm not just living an existential nightmare all the time.
Did you?
I mean, I am still living an existential nightmare, but now I'm also get to listen to people talk about basketball or whatever.
Yeah. Um, did you daydream much? Were you a daydreamer? Like if you had to do a
Uh,
mundane task or at school or something?
yeah, yes, sure,
Okay.
yeah.
See, I was always like, um, I mean, especially like when I was younger, like mowing the lawn or something would be a good time to zone out and just think about stuff. Very, very repetitive task. But also at the factory, like I would definitely think about like, I never actually wrote anything, but I would think about what to write. Like I would do world building and shit in my head and a bit of plot and stuff. And I don't know. I think between that and like actually thinking about not who I am, but like analyzing my thoughts from the day a bit more or something. This is
I don't
mostly
know.
like if
I
I'm
would think
sitting, that's
about
kind of what I do.
after I learned about EverQuest, I would think about playing EverQuest a lot
Oh, hell yeah.
and how cool it would be to play EverQuest. But I couldn't play EverQuest because that would involve talking my parents into getting me a subscription to this computer game that my computer
Yeah.
probably couldn't run anyway. Eventually did play EverQuest. And let me tell you, thinking about EverQuest is more fun than playing EverQuest. As although I did enjoy playing EverQuest, thinking about it, more fun. Now with WoW is at least fun enough to play. That it was a little closer, but
Yeah.
EverQuest is extremely slow. Like, what if just everything were harder? And every time you died, all your stuff would be on your corpse, and you'd have to go get it.
Ugh.
I have a really strong memory of like this one dude who kept like trying to get his corpse, but every time he like got a little bit of gold or something, but he just kept dying before reaching his. So the whole zone was like littered with his corpses, and they all had like a little something he had to loot off all of them.
Oh my god. Unbelievable.
He just created
A nightmare
for
Yeah.
himself.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Jesus.
But also it was so cool.
Yeah,
There's
that's
what other game would you live this nightmare? This is like reality.
Ugh.
It's so harsh. You have to eat food or you get hungry. It's realistic, man. In EverQuest, you had to have food and drink, but it was so you wouldn't get hungry or thirsty.
Yeah.
You
Survival.
just like slowly disappear over time. Yeah, man, it's early survival game.
Ugh.
It's pretty great.
I mean, not even as a kid, but I remember like when I'm sure it happened for tons of other games, but the most recent one and maybe the biggest one in my life that I can go back to is when Skyrim came out. And then I was like rolling through high school, like every single day I was just thinking about how I want to get home and play Skyrim. Yeah, no, every single day I would think about playing Skyrim so much, and that was like my first big RPG, I guess. Like, even though I mean not my first huge RPG, but like maybe the first where you could kind of do anything. You could murder anyone, just be your own character and whatever.
You didn't play Oblivion, is what you're saying.
I did actually, which is why I was so pumped. But I think I stuck a shitload of time into Oblivion. Well, compared for the time, I dumped like 50 or 60 hours in it on Xbox, and then my save broke irreparably. So I bailed on that shit. I was not starting over.
Yeah. I think, yeah. In high school, I would literally goldfish magic decks during class. So
Hell yeah.
I don't. There was one specific class where I was like sitting in the back and like I would literally just goldfish every day, because that teacher didn't care.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Like high school was definitely, I was obsessed with Magic. I would come to school early so I could play Magic in the cafeteria before school started, and then I would play every day at lunch.
I really wish there was I think people have done variants of it, but like a solitaire Magic would be cool. Like some way to play decently by yourself. Like give you something to do with your deck.
Yeah. You just gotta build a linear deck that's about going infinite really fast, and then you play that one over and over.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the best kind of solitaire is the one where it's hard to win and you just lose all the time, though.
Yeah, that's what
These solitaires where we just win are they're no fun.
Yeah, no,
There's
that's
no
what
joy in it.
that's what I'm saying. I wish there was like I'm sure that you could set it up, right? Like to do something, or like you'd have to like put yourself on a timer, or
Look, you just need 2 decks and you play yourself.
well, that's the I forget what it is, because goldfishing is the one where your opponent is a goldfish, and then there's like other animal-based strategies that people use, and one of them is like each turn, or like turn like 1 through 5, assume your opponent does this, turn 5 through 10 they do this, and then so on. Which is like, it's kind of basic enough to test your deck against basic shit, right?
Yeah. Just see how many turns it takes for you to, if you were uninterrupted.
Yeah.
How fast your deck could be.
Or like one of
But
them.
like if you have a more interactive deck, it's kind of not that useful.
Yeah. Or like there
I don't
was.
know. There's kind of nothing like playing another person though. But yeah.
Oh no, not at all.
Particularly after like getting some experience playing Sparky. Sparky is fucking worthless.
Sparky, I mean, you say that, and then Sparky gets the win by spamming 8 times in a row and not doing anything.
It's true. It's true. When like, because in a multiplayer match the goal isn't the victory condition, it's to destroy your opponent's will to live. Sparky is actually pretty good because it will slow play you into oblivion. And then you just concede because it's like, fuck you, Sparky.
Yeah, dude.
Sparky gets the win.
Sparky gets more wins than I still love the idea of.
I mean, it's mostly the game's fault for like pairing you against Sparky, so you accidentally queue against Sparky when you don't mean to.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you, Magic. Just
I really
pumping up Sparky's win rate.
I really want to see. Someone suggested like putting Sparky into ranked queue and just seeing how far it gets. I would watch it.
I don't think it would get beyond bronze.
I don't know, man.
Its decks are really bad.
Well, yeah, no shit. Its playing is incredibly abysmal.
It's really dumb. And its decks are bad. So I don't know.
Sparky.
Bronze is like, people still play pretty good decks in bronze.
Yeah, but if it's just, I think part of it would be like if it's continuously going, could
That's
it run
true.
into enough things to?
I doubt it. Because
That's why
that's still a lot of.
That's why we need to know.
It's true.
It's not about how it's just about how far we'll get. Maybe it gets nowhere, but that's the point.
Yeah, they should work on Sparky until it can get to silver.
And then in doing so, they accidentally create like a nightmare AI for
Sparky gets on the Pro Tour. Sparky wins the Arena Open.
Oh no. Well, we tried to make our AI a little better and accidentally solved magic, so there was that.
I wish they had levels like of difficulty of AI.
Yeah. Or something.
Or
Or
like,
at least give it better
I don't know.
decks.
I like. Yeah. I don't know. Or like, I wish they had more single player stuff to do in Arena, I guess.
Mhm.
Like if there was like a puzzle of the day or whatever. They did, because I like Magic puzzles a lot. So if they just like put one of those in the game every day, that'd be neat.
For how much absolute hate the idea got, I still would love a Battlegrounds in Arena. I think that would be a cool space. And
People were against it.
I suggested it on the Magic Arena subreddit. And I'm like, I even led with, because I know that this isn't like Magic's traditional space, but I think it would be really fun seeing like these cards and stuff clashing in that way and building synergies, because it's, it's in the game. It makes sense.
Yeah.
People fucking hated it. They were just like, yeah, this isn't that game. except they used more hurtful words.
This isn't Hearthstone. This isn't a popular game.
I mean,
Get
yeah.
outta here.
Basically, people were like, "Go play Hearthstone." I'm like, okay, but
Yeah.
I like the format, but I want to use the things that I like.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
That's
know.
why I'm also down. I don't know if it's out yet or if all of it's out yet, but when that Horizon board game comes out, I want to try the Horizon board game in tabletop, not real life, because I don't have $700.
Yeah, board game. Tabletop Simulator is such a good fucking thing that exists, and also only is good because of workshop support, where people upload board games they don't own.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Tabletop Simulator would still be good even if it wasn't that, because whatever, it's still fun playing shoots and ladders on that thing. But that's not as fun as playing Magic or whatever.
The
Or like a
Dungeons
good
and
board game.
Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons board game is that when it's like super intricate board games like that. That's when it's like that's where it shines for me. Because
Yeah.
it's like, it's just, you don't have to imagine how fucking long it would take to set up the Dungeons and Dragons board game with all of us in real life.
I
And
mean,
it
if
are-
we were in the same place, it would be fun. Because I've done it. I've played that thing in real life.
But the setup
not
though,
that bad.
like setup and storage, if you have to like bring it
It's
out
it's
and
not that
put
bad.
it away. Okay. I
Uh,
mean, better you than me. I don't want to deal with it.
It wouldn't be that bad. Honestly, the cool thing about playing it with people who actually played D&D is they had like versions of those miniatures that were painted already.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just had them lying around from painting miniatures.
Yeah.
So we got to use better stuff
Mm-hmm.
than the game came with.
Hell yeah, dude.
That thing's just cool though.
It was a very
It's
fun
just-
thing.
It's just a roguelike D&D 4th edition that runs itself.
Yeah, man.
That GMs itself, because
There was, I forget the game we played. I would have to ask Jeremy to ask like some of our friends. It was a very similar setup. There was no miniatures or I forget what the actual level design looked like, but it was kind of it had sort of a, I guess like a, what the hell is it, Munchkin? Like Munchkin or Four Souls, where you're getting like cards for your equipment and all of that. And but more of like a dungeon crawling setting, and that was really cool. It was like a similar thing. I love games with that, like board games with that vibe, like getting to deck your shit out.
yeah. I like dungeon crawling,
Yeah.
and like a good way to dungeon crawl with your friends that doesn't have like a lot of overhead is just good. I don't know.
Yeah, I still
Like
want. I guess like For the King kind of fills that space, but that feeling in a video game is really good. I want more of it, more co-op experiences with like permanent items, I suppose. Not like Heroes of Hammerwatch, though that's also a certain kind of fun. But yeah, I guess For the King, where you're like getting stronger with your buds and fighting shit.
I don't know. I've really enjoyed Deep Rock Galactic.
I
That game's
still
fucking dope.
need to check it out. So it's you're not like collecting random loot, right? It's just like a good gameplay and like a good progression system, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Or do you find shit as well to an extent?
They're like the stuff you find is like there'll be like a cosmetic for your axe that's honestly not that much different than what you already had. Like changes a tiny part of your pickaxe or whatever. You can find
Yeah.
cosmetic stuff, but other than that, yeah, you're just you like level up as you do missions and get
Um,
skill points and stuff.
it's something like I've started paying more attention to as something I enjoy. How is the class fantasy? Is everybody kind of doing the same shit, or is it pretty
No,
separate?
there are four different classes. Each person has like a different thing. So like one character is much better at digging. The character I play has a platform gun, where I like shoot platforms for people to
Oh,
jump on.
okay.
One character has like can set up like uh, zip lines and can like grappling hook up.
Yo, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's the one Mark plays. I forget what the other character is. The one John plays.
That's cool though.
Also, my character gets turrets. I get to set up turrets, which
Nice.
I also greatly enjoy.
Okay.
I forget what that other
See,
character does.
that sounds far more like interesting to me. I guess I didn't know that there was that like um that level of
The
like
thing I like about
everybody.
it is like we have a mission, so we have a
Yeah.
thing to do. There's like a secondary objective of just grabbing a particular thing, like collecting it.
Hmm.
And we're all like working together to do the same thing, and it's not fucking, and it's like challenging. There's like stuff, but it's a good level of difficulty compared to like we were trying to play GTFO, and that game's just too fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like it's it's actually just too fucking hard. Like
See,
we don't get anywhere.
I guess I thought it was just a like another another like Vermintide or Left 4 Dead or something where it's like kill the bad guys every time, and
No,
like
you always
everybody
have
is
like a collection type mission or something.
okay.
There are different types of missions.
Yeah.
Like one mission will be collect all these eggs that are hidden around the map, or this time like we've got this big platform we have to defend
Mm-hmm.
and collect some stuff or whatever. Or you have to search through. And also like after you finish your mission, then like the pod to get in will spawn somewhere not where you are, and you have to like run to it at
Yeah.
that time limit, which has some of that like the feel of what I wanted from Get the Fuck Out, but we never got to the part where we had to get the fuck out because we couldn't.
Yeah.
The missions were too hard. It just has like it has a real good loop to it. It's just a lot of fun when you're playing with people. I don't think it
Yeah.
would be that interesting to play by yourself though.
Mm. So like I if it lines up, I would buy it for like trying it out with people, but I'm not
Also,
gonna
it's
grab it on my own.
it's on Game Pass.
If only I had it.
Yeah.
They finally stopped
Anything.
for a while there. I was able to keep like canceling it and then re-getting it for $1. And then
Oh.
finally that train
Yeah.
finally stopped stopped coming.
Yeah, they got rid of that.
Which makes sense. Like five or 10 or whatever the hell it is a month is already a ridiculously good deal. $1
Yeah.
is insane.
Yeah, one day it probably will be a less good deal, but right now it's fucking crazy, and they keep adding more good shit to it.
Mm-hmm. And doesn't it come with like they added, is it EA stuff to it, like the EA Pass thing, or am I?
The
Or
like
it's like a
it's
combo.
like the basic EA play,
Okay.
but I don't even. Yeah, it's not like the new Madden comes out on Game Pass. It's not the super good one.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the back catalog stuff. Although I don't even know if that's on PC or not, because I don't. If it's in there, I just don't see it. But I don't know. There's plenty of stuff in there to play anyway, and I don't have time to play all the stuff I want to play. I've been playing WoW. I hit max level, but
Hell
now
yeah.
there's so much shit to do at max level. I'm a little like if I just wanted to go in for a night and just do dailies, I couldn't. I can't do them all. Like
Mhm.
there's too much to do, to like do in one sitting because there are like so many different places to go. They set up so much shit to do. I kind of it's kind of cool, but also like I'm just not.
It's too much.
I would be cool if there were less. I don't know.
Hmm.
I am kind of just at the point where like I could keep playing this and I would have fun, but there's so many other games I want to play that like at least short term I think I'm just gonna start playing. Get there's just too much stuff I want to get to and put more time into by before the end of the year or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I was going pretty hard in Horizon again, like finally doing it up on PC. I ran through it on story mode to get to New Game Plus, and then sat down and did up New Game Plus on easy.
Have
And
you
like,
played the DLC?
on PlayStation, I started going through it. I have gone through it, but I'm setting myself up to get like a ultra hard New Game Plus playthrough. So
Yeah.
I technically have played through it, but I burned through that shit. I skipped as many story things as I could because I'm going to savor it on my next run.
Yeah.
So
Because when I tried to jump in, it had been a while since I played it, and like the difficulty in that is like hard compared to the main game.
yeah,
So I was like just rusty.
yeah, it cranks up.
And then
But
nothing about the story was grabbing me.
the
And the fact it's like it's one of those things where the fact that it doesn't take place after the main story, it like takes place during the story, is like way less interesting to me.
yeah. I mean, going through again when you know that you can like time it appropriately is fine, I guess, if that's what people are into.
Yeah.
The only problem is the weapons that you get in that DLC make the end boss a fucking joke.
That's hilarious. But whatever.
Yeah. I like it. The music and the scenery in that area is amazing. And the snow effects are incredibly good. Sunsets and shit.
Yeah, I just wanted better. And like maybe there is good story in there. I just didn't get to it because I didn't really get that deep in. But I
thought it was
story.
I thought it was pretty interesting. I mean, from the bits that they forced me to watch. I didn't want to like.
I just remember fighting a hard enemy and then like this tribe of people or whatever, and it's like new zone. I'm like, that's not enough.
Okay, yeah, you like didn't get there at all. Then it sounds like
no. I have no idea really
Okay.
what that story is. Really, look.
Yeah.
I have my armor with a shield, so I feel pretty good about that.
Oh, dude, that they one of the things that zone does is it's not terrible unless you're really stupid, I guess. But they incorporate this stuff to negate that armor. If you do things wrong, you will not be able to use it appropriately. But if you are good at sequencing enemies, it's totally fine.
That's fair. I just remember like the first fight and that being like surprisingly like an aggressive enemy. That was
they
and I had not touched the game in a while,
dude.
so
No, they start you off with a fucking like a beefy boy.
yeah.
Like an incredibly beefy boy. And then they follow it with another beefy boy. It's ridiculous. I have been
Yeah, it wasn't a good easing in after not having touched that game in a while.
No.
It's like the thing I mostly remember.
I've been really psyched that my prediction was correct about using mouse to aim. Like, wow, look, I can hit all these tiny weak spots now. Imagine.
Yeah. I just couldn't get into the idea of playing it on DLC because, like, I did all the work for that shield armor. I want to do that again. I don't know.
I mean, if you do story, you
Yeah,
can really burn through.
I have too many other games to play.
Oh, that's fair. Um, it's
Like
been
I'm gonna play through 13 Sentinels because of watching Paul play that. I was incredibly hooked in that story. It's a wild time. I'm very into it. So I'm gonna burn through that.
nice.
Is my next thing, and then I need to play more Hades
Mm-hmm.
because I've only finished like one loop or whatever. I want to finish the basic full loops. Maybe not go for epilogue, but
I still haven't even gotten to the end of the
you never
thing.
even finished Pyre, right?
No, I did not finish Pyre.
Well,
I
see,
got
think
to the
Pyre.
first.
I like Pyre more, so I would say finish
Well,
Pyre at least.
If I between the two of them, Pyre is assuredly going. I don't know if I'll ever beat Hades, honestly.
Wow.
Not because it's bad. It just I pick it up and I love the art. I love the story. The voice acting is fucking stellar.
There's a tree lady.
There is a tree lady. Yes. All things that are great. I've realized that I don't like the like the roguelite progression. Like, oh, you're shit, and then after you die a couple times and your health gets bigger and whatever. I don't like that being the gate, I guess. To an extent.
It's not a gate. You can do it earlier if you're good.
I'm also not
It just
good.
makes it more accessible for people who are bad.
Yeah.
It makes your chance of seeing the story more inevitable in a way.
Yeah.
But like again, like not you still have to fucking do the thing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It hasn't fully sucked me in, I guess. Yeah.
You just don't
I think
like things that are good. That's what I'm hearing.
this fucking guy. What was it? I'm trying to think of how I phrased it.
How did you build? What builds did you go? What weapon did you use?
All of them.
Oh.
The only one that I tried a few times because it was new between the last time I played and the most recent time, since it like fully released, was the fists.
Gun. Oh, the fists.
There was probably another gun that they added or something that I didn't see yet, but yeah, I've tried all of the stuff and it's ultimately fine. I don't know. I think maybe the gameplay just doesn't mesh with me, or I just need more time to get used to it or something. And I don't be mad. Like, not that
Just play it until you love it.
not that I
Isn't
don't.
that how
like,
roguelikes work? Thought that's how roguelikes work.
I mean, maybe if there were actual items. The
There are
boons
items.
the boons do not feel great to me.
What? They're just items. It's
Just don't
literally what they are.
They don't feel as sexy.
You're weird.
I don't know. I don't know what it is exactly. Like,
Some of them are incredibly sexy. Like every time when I dodge, I get invincibility. Like hell yeah.
yeah.
All these buffs are all hella good. Hella good.
I'm trying to like put my finger
Hella
on it a little
good.
more accurately. Maybe it's like it's too much, too many stats. No, kind of. I don't know. I don't know exactly how to.
You just
how
don't
to-
like it
how
because
to
it's good.
describe it.
I understand.
That's not it at all. Horizon's a good game. I like that. Cyberpunk's a game. I like that ish.
That game does not sound that good.
Uh,
That I've seen.
it's
I'm
fine.
not.
It has
Well,
aside from whether or not you can play the game on whatever system you have, for
it just doesn't
anyone.
sound particularly interesting. Nothing anyone has said about it has been like, this is why you got to play this. People are like, yeah, it's a like at best it's like, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I don't know.
It has it definitely is a slow burn. Like I continue forgetting which reviewer said that, but it's a bit of a slow burn with the story and shit, I think. But I'm enjoying it. From a story perspective, like it there were some points I was like, this feels kind of like it did when we were playing like when me and Jeremy were playing the Shadowrun tabletop. Like you're prepping for your heist and shit, and you have your they call them fixers in Cyberpunk, but otherwise known as Johns, I think, from Shadowrun and like Neuromancer and shit. Um, and then the story actually does. I mean, that is spoiler free, of course, but there's some shit I'm like, yo, this feels a bit like Neuromancer. This is actually pretty cool. So some of that shit
Yeah, but
is
I like
very appealing to
good
me.
games.
Well, good how?
I don't care about I don't I care more about the gameplay than I do about like, oh, this is doing this specific thing from a cyberpunk stuff that I want. I don't know. I want a good video game.
I mean, I think the gameplay is it's not groundbreaking.
I don't want a single player GTA is what I'm saying.
Oh, it's if it was okay, if it was a single player GTA, it'd be good.
Oof.
It's not single player Grand Theft Auto
Okay.
because mostly that you can't drive well. And the NPCs also cannot drive.
This is all sounding terrible. I've like literally the only thing I really like doing in GTA is driving.
Okay, then you would have the absolute worst time, and I'm not even kidding. The first, I'll say this because it's not as I don't think it's a spoiler in the least. You have your different starts or whatever, and mine had me driving a bit, like immediately. You have to do a bit of driving, and I'm using mouse and keyboard, and also the handling is abysmal. And I accidentally ran into a dude. Cops instantly spawned in front of me, like popped in front of me, and just I died instantaneously. And people have been like, there's no good wanted system, so people like are in a secluded. Someone was on a secluded rooftop. There's literally no one else except a single NPC. They kill the NPC and they turn around and a cop is right behind them, like shooting already.
If I wanted to play a game with a wanted system, I'd play WoW. Fun fact, one of the new areas in WoW has a wanted system.
Oh right, I heard you and Paul talking about that a bit. Gross.
When you're in hell,
That sounds miserable.
the eye of Sauron will pay more attention to you the more stuff you do there.
Gotcha.
So just like more enemies will spawn on you or like attack you, or like there are like 5 levels of it, and things just get worse and worse as you spend more time and do more things.
Mm-hmm.
Like a random area will spawn, like a shit on the floor will show up. Like something's gonna hit you if you stand here, and you'll get like stunned while you're just doing your shit.
Yeah.
It's not that different from like, it's like a different way of feeding you in like the corruption stuff they did with the corrupted gear last time, I guess.
Okay.
It's like kind of around that, but I think this makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't as easy to opt out of.
Yeah. I guess I don't know if people would see it as a positive or negative in Cyberpunk with the wanted system, but like on one hand people might think it's bad because maybe you want to go around murdering civilians, and you kind of if you're I mean if you're strong enough or whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm playing on hard, so like the cops hurt at this point still.
Okay.
But like for me, I'm like, okay, maybe there's a secluded civilian and I want to kill them. I'm just not going to now because I don't feel like dealing with it. But on the other hand, like it hasn't come up like at all as a thing to like be wary of unless you are going around punching cops or people. But no, like if there was something like a system behind it or it served some purpose, it would be whatever. But yeah.
It sounds like it has a wanted system because GTA has a wanted system.
Yeah. And the problem is like someone realized that they don't have any AI for how NPCs drive. So that like the cops don't drive up, they just spawn in.
Ew.
Yeah. There's no driving up. There's no running up. Literally the cops just like boop.
No.
Fucking
That's terrible. I hate that.
Dude, it's rough. Like
what I want is when we were playing fucking Wildlands and the cops just spawned forever and never despawned. That was so good.
I hate that I had to leave. It literally lasted so fucking long that I had to go to bed. And we had already been at it for like a long time. Like just that thing. And you kept going for what, like an hour or two?
I did it wasn't that long. Like it eventually I died and then it stopped. I would have actually kept going for longer, but it resolved itself.
That was so ridiculous.
They despawned and I was sad.
If Cyberpunk did that, it would actually be entertaining, at least.
I mean, if fucking any game actually worked that way, I would be so into it.
Exponentially
like
increasing.
That's not actually how Wildlands was supposed to work either.
Yeah.
That was some bug we had.
It was
just like the best bug.
It's probably one of the better.
So much fun.
Definitely one of the better bugs I've encountered in a game. I guess in Cyberpunk, my like less than 2 minutes in, I had to drive to a little tower, climb up the tower, connect to a thing, and then waddle back down and drive off. And that's when I hit the guy and died. So, restart the game. My car was upside down.
Hell yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, honestly, the reason I haven't picked this game up is because people talking about how many bugs there are. I'm like, I can wait.
Yeah. It's been fine. I haven't encountered anything that like a reset or going back like to the previous auto save from a minute earlier didn't solve, but some of it's like
that's good.
It's rough.
Yeah, I mean, like the game just doesn't seem. It seems like they just decided they had to get it out before the end of the year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Also, my favorite thing that people were upset about is for some reason Reddit decided that the penis customization was going to be, like, groundbreaking. Like, you could set like a slider for how saggy the balls are. Like, you could, like, anywhere from a micro dick to a 36-inch monster. And just complete customization for every single tiny detail of a dong, and instead it's like 3 settings. So people were upset that you couldn't like micromanage your junk. Such a stupid thing to be upset about. Of all the things, like, who cares?
Well, look, people got overhyped.
Oh
Clearly
my God,
this was an issue people cared about.
Learning fucking nothing from No Man's Sky. At least No Man's Sky was missing like actual features.
I will always remember the gender slider from Saints Row.
I forget how that worked.
It was just a slider. It didn't work well. It's not like actually good, but it existed. It was just weird.
Right,
It's like
right,
just change your body shape,
right. Yeah.
and then like you would be it like just
Okay.
because it's just a morph. Like it would just leave you in between the
Mm-hmm.
default male body and the default female body.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't like it was a dumb joke, really. But that game was old. Like it did that like fucking years ago. That was like Saints Row 2 or I think.
Mm-hmm. Or at least certainly in
I hear
3.
there are dildos everywhere in Cyberpunk, which is what makes me think of Saints Row
I
as a
was
GTA knockoff.
I was fucking super disappointed. Rolled into a sex shop, and that you could buy. I mean, of course, you could buy like a variety of dildos and anal beads and what have you. And of course,
Why?
this was like, literally no reason. It's
That's
labeled
all
as
junk.
it's labeled as junk in the game.
Yeah.
Like you could maybe disassemble it for materials, but you could buy the only thing that disappointed me. You could buy a gag, but it wasn't wearable. Why the fuck would I buy a gag if it's not wearable?
Why?
It was also just junk. It's a perfect opportunity. That would be a look. Whatever. It was so wild.
I mean, honestly, more than anything, I just feel like I should spend more time with Witcher 3 because that is like actually a good game where like the world felt weirdly realized for a video game. I just hated that it felt like the currency I needed was experience as good as it was narratively about like money feeling real. Like it really felt like to be to progress through the story, the thing I need is experience. This weird meta currency that I need to make myself better. None of this money is worth anything to me.
Yeah. I don't know. People have been talking. I mean, obviously, it's like, oh,
Well, the big thing
fucking,
I've heard is like just the side content in The Witcher is way more built up than any of the side quest stuff in Cyberpunk.
that does not surprise me in the least.
Yeah. Like some of the best stuff in Witcher 3 was like side story stuff, not main.
I
Like it was
never.
skippable or whatever.
I honestly never dived into that game very much. You know what? Why mince it? I'd never dived into that game like at all.
Again, I put like 7 to 10 hours into it only, and like I got stuck because I wanted to move forward in the story, and I moved to an area where I was under leveled, and I like spent fucking an hour fighting enemies I did barely any damage to. And got pissed off, quit. Because again, like the thing, like I really liked a lot of it, but needing to grind experience just was not what I wanted out of that game and what I wanted to do at that time. So that just turned me off. But
I just
but I don't like the game is really well made, so I was interested in Cyberpunk. But nothing about Cyberpunk fucking particularly compels me. Really,
people have been. Did you play it like early on release? Witcher 3.
no. I
Okay.
played it later.
I've been like people have been like obviously there are people who are saying this is nowhere close to Witcher 3, but there are also people who are bringing up, and I wouldn't know, but they're saying that Witcher 3 was also a broken piece of shit on release and like didn't play
Well, I
well on
remember
consoles and shit. So I
they
have
had
no
to
idea
like
if that's-
completely rework the how you moved. I think they reworked a lot of actual core gameplay stuff on that, but also like they were a much smaller company before The Witcher 3. Like The Witcher 3 made them a shit ton of money for them to make Cyberpunk, so they kind of can't use that excuse anymore.
Yeah.
Is like the other part like you're the big boys now. You have GTA, not quite, but like kind of at least competitively kind of money, and
Okay.
maybe
I
don't
was
have a million bugs.
I was trying to. I looked up quick because I was interested. If they, I didn't know if Witcher 3 had been announced and then released like years and years later, or if it was shorter. It was like 2 years, it seems like. They announced it in 2013. It was delayed to released for. Yeah, it was supposed to be 2014 release, but it got bumped back to 2015. Okay.
And that was like a pretty skyrocketing progression of from Witcher 1 to Witcher 2 to Witcher 3.
Dude, I wanted to start with Witcher 1 and that shit was unplayable. Like I can't go back. I think people, one of the reasons, I mean, by far the biggest comparison I see is between like Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto, because maybe that's what people were expecting a little bit more, but also like you can technically steal cars, you can kill people. It seems like that should be a thing, just in maybe more of a realized RPG way instead of a truly sandbox way, if that makes sense. Closer to Assassin's Creed maybe than like Grand Theft Auto 5. But like I agree, this is why, like, why the fuck would you announce a game 8 years? Why would you just make the fucking game, get it to where it's like as perfect as you want it, and then announce that it's in like final stages and release it? I can't. They've done it to themselves. Why would you build up this much hype? And it's been like from the top down.
Because they have to put the pressure on themselves so that everyone can crunch for 4 years or whatever.
Yeah, people were crunching for this shit. What did it look like before? Christ.
I mean, yeah, not good. I mean, I'm sure they're still crunching to fucking fix it.
Oh, yeah.
There is no end to the crunch.
I'm just like,
I don't know.
I'm just looking at like all the shit. Like, yeah. I agree with this.
Again, there's other stuff I want to play. So
it's been hilarious. I'm interested enough in the story and the art and that sort of thing, and seeing kind of, you know, where it goes. But while I'm playing it, I'm like, man, I really kind of want to be playing Horizon right now. Mm-hmm. I'm just hooked enough to like want to keep going, but also like, yeah, I've been reading a good book lately. I'll read my book for a while. Like, I'll take a break.
I gotta dive into 13 Sentinels. That plot is like the only thing I can compare it to is fucking Hoxpox that we just read. It has like characters traveling between multiple timelines and shit.
So
that game's wild.
I
mean, it's basically a visual novel plus a tower defense game.
Yeah. I knew fucking nothing about it. Oh, it's just PlayStation 4. Okay, I'm out. When did it come out? When did this? Oh, this is new, 2020. Yeah, I'm definitely out. There is no regional pricing for that shit here. I'm not paying like 5,000 rubles for a.
Yeah, I got it because they put it on sale because it was at the Game Awards or whatever again. So I got it for like 40 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that game's neat as hell. Like, it reminds me of an era where people tried things with video games. It's like, yeah, we wanted to make this fucking weird tower defense game that's also a visual novel. And it has a wild story. Like, hell yeah. Fucking go for it. And like it's done well purely by word of mouth. Like, it didn't sell well when it first came out, and it has since done well because people have talked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Which is dope.
Yeah, dude. No, that's been like one of the things that I like crave is like just, even if it's something that doesn't mesh with me, just an interesting experience that is like pushing the boundary a little bit, or like doing the weird thing that the studio clearly just wants to do.
It's definitely a thing like this generation compared to it's partly just that I I was paying less attention at the beginning of the 360. But like during the like 360 era, I could walk into a GameStop and just look at used games and like maybe I'll find something weird that it looks interesting. And like that would never happen to me now. I there is no value of me looking at a wall of games, like modern games anymore.
Oh yeah.
Like there's just nothing there for me. I know too much about what's released every month, and there just isn't that much like weird shit. It's like a combo.
Dude,
Which is like kind of sad to me because it's like, you know, if I see a game store, like there's no reason for me to go there, like actually, like unless I'm like looking for like hoping they have like DS games or something. Like I need old video games would be cool to look through, but fucking anything recent is worthless.
Yeah. Man.
Because also like so much recent stuff like I don't know comes out on Game Pass or whatever. Like it's not. Even like looking for games on sales has like a different feel to me now because I'm just like well, maybe it'll come out on Game Pass.
I mean that's
like literally I had that experience with like I've been wanting to play this game Yes Your Grace, which like where you play like a medieval king or whatever. And like the thing I've heard about it is like it's a little thin, but it looks interesting to me. But like, you know, a little thin, maybe I don't want to buy it. It showed up on Game Pass like this month.
Hell yeah. I've learned my lesson, or I learned it a while ago. I'm like, if there is something that is smaller, especially if it's like maybe a roguelite or something that I'm interested in, just wait. And it has happened like, I don't know, maybe 10 times now that something I was mildly interested in has appeared for free on Epic Game Store. Like, they just keep bumping them, dude. I'm like, Celeste looks good.
Like, there are too many fucking games. And
yeah.
Like, at a certain point, no one's going to look at that shit unless it's free or on heavy sale. So, it all ends up there eventually.
No, it's
like it's pretty fucking amazing if you're not actually if you like you just zone out on new releases and just look for stuff later. Like it's pretty fucking great time. Just find cheap games if you're into that.
Hell yeah. I if I recall correctly, you said you were maybe coming around to finally starting it. Now that you know roughly what it is, but Disco Elysium, getting that full voice acting.
Yeah. Once the full voice acting is, I'll give that another shot. Once Final Cut is out.
Yeah, dude, I actually am just going to start over. I think.
I still don't know what build I want, like how I want to build the character at all, though.
Okay.
Like to mesh with like I really don't know honestly. The kind of bummer is like I was watching Day 9 has a show where he plays adventure games with his friends, and they were doing that game for a while, and they're progressing so fucking slowly they had to stop and just move on. Like it wasn't because it was bad, like they were just so stuck in the weeds with the dense dialogue. They weren't getting anywhere. So I've watched a bunch of those episodes, like, and I still like don't have a feel for that game. I feel like because they kind of didn't, and like it was frustrating everyone because like they weren't getting anywhere. Like they would talk to one person in like a week, and like a 2-hour show or something.
Yeah, no, it's dense as hell. Very good though. Like if you're in the mood to,
they're making a TV show about it. Out of it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't. And I saw that like that's not like the appeal of that thing.
Yeah, I like the feel.
Part of the appeal of it is the RPG of it.
Yeah, it's one of the first games I've played, like video games, where if I've thought I want to do this thing, I'm able to do it or get pretty damn close to it.
The thing is, my biggest problem is I don't want to be that fat fuck. I don't want to be that guy. Fuck him. I don't like the character you're stuck as. The flesh bag you're stuck with.
That's actually my main problem with Cyberpunk. You can choose your flesh bag, but you don't get to, like, there's only so much you can do for dialogue, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really frustrating.
That's no good.
Yeah. Speaking of 2-hour shows, though, we've been bumbling for a while.
Oh, man. We haven't been bumbling. We've been more focused. Okay, so Ben, why do you hate Star Wars now?
I don't know. The light inside me died.
Why you now you don't care. They
I'm
ruined it for you
gonna watch
because they made live action
Mandalorian.
TV shows.
I guess, yeah. I think it's.
Mandalorian. The last 2 episodes that I watched have been so good, Ben.
I know. I know.
Like the podcast I last did, I was just like laughing and chuckling about how much I loved it, like just childhood joy. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll probably come back, I hope. I don't know. Maybe I just hate Star Wars forever now. Obviously not hate, but yeah, I have no idea. Maybe just not in that zone, not in that mood. Like, I have all the Mandalorian stuff downloaded. I'm planning on getting to it at some point. But seeing all the extra shit that they announced, that was kind of a turnoff.
I mean,
not gonna lie.
I mean, the thing to remember is like they're announcing stuff that's gonna be coming out for like the next 5 years or something. Like that wasn't about.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
That was a like investor meeting and about responding to the Warner Brothers HBO Max thing and like blowing them out of the water, really.
Yeah,
As much as anything, because like most of that stuff isn't close to being out. They haven't even put out the stuff that we already knew was coming out.
yeah. No, it's.
So
I
it's
know
not
it's
like-
a long. I know it's a long timeline, but
I don't know. They're bringing back Hayden Christensen, Ben. Aren't you
Yeah.
excited?
it's pretty good.
I'm honestly, I fucking
I'm
want to
stoked.
see what he could do when George Lucas isn't writing his dialogue. I'm very curious.
I think it'll
I'm
be good.
very curious.
I think it'll be good.
Look, I think he gave the best delivery of "I hate sand, it gets everywhere" that any human being possibly could have given.
Yeah, man. He was doing in those films what fucking Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson were doing in Twilight.
Yeah. Like, Natalie Portman is great. She is fucking terrible in those movies. 'Cause
Yeah.
her dialogue is awful.
And also because, she's hitting on a 9-year-old and then ignoring his murderous tendencies later. But whatever. It's fine. Sometimes you kill a village.
Yeah.
Whatever. Can't be held responsible for my actions.
Sometimes you commit a genocide. No biggie.
Yeah.
No biggie. I'm thinking of trying to watch... Okay, so I need your advice on this. If I wanted to consume mainline Clone Wars necessary content without fucking going through every episode, I need a list to try.
What
'Cause
elements?
Ahsoka is really good.
Okay.
It's really mainly it.
I can dig a bit. I'm sure someone
also,
has
I don't
put
know
out
if-
various things.
Yeah, but I don't like. I have to trust some random dude on Reddit.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, I can like verify, Like if I look at it, I can be like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Yeah.
I need someone who's seen it to like,
Yeah.
like look over something.
kind of no matter what you do. I mean, for like the beef of it, like there's maybe some early stuff that you could watch to like establish like the like where she started, but a lot of it like after the first two-ish seasons are super kiddie. And then after that it gets a little beefier. Yeah, I'd have to look offhand.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
especially,
Like honestly, it's mostly that I've tried to watch it and just it's fallen completely flat for me every time.
yeah.
And I know that there's Jar Jar Binks in there, so I
He
just
doesn't
curse.
show up that much.
Yeah, but there's like
there's
an
a
episode
few
about him.
Yeah, there's a few where he is the main boy, but
He's
you'd skip all those.
bad.
Yeah,
I love that Austin Walker tweeted like, "You guys had like you finished the first movie, you took in all the feedback, and then fucking his Jar Jar makes his first line when he gets in the new movie. Ugh, awful.
I mean, yeah, like season 6 and 7 and probably 5 are gonna be must watches for the most part. I forget how mixed it is. Like, if an episode looks like it's only going to be about clones, usually it is. And if it's like starting with Ahsoka, it's gonna be about her. Like, they don't fuck around too much by tricking you.
Gotcha. And I mean, if the clone stuff is good, that's fine. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's good. But season 7 is the crown jewel of that series. She's also incredible in Rebels. Very good. And that's like, again, like Rebels kind of was a bit rocky, but by the time she shows up, like they're dealing with some not
Rebels.
dark, but
I remember like I watched the first episode and was not.
yeah, again,
compelled to watch more.
It's this.
Man.
I don't know how much you know, so I won't spoil anything, but there's like one very good interaction that Ahsoka has, and like thinking about it right now, just like goosebumps. It's very good. But yeah, I'll
Yeah,
hit you
because
with
like
that.
I could put that on and then like play Hyrule Warriors
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
while
it's
that
still
runs. It's
yeah.
like again, like what fucking trying to watch these Gamer movies. I'm like, but I can't. I have to watch. I do have to look at the subtitles.
Yeah.
I can't play a video game. So I try to watch them while eating.
the only time I think like the end of season 7 of Clone Wars, because it's like, yeah, that it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Did that just come out like this year?
yeah, they finally, because it got canceled like partway through its original run.
Yeah.
But it's great because like,
And that still takes place before Rebels.
yeah, because that so season 7 is like leading into the events of season 3 or fucking season 3 of episode 3.
Yeah.
And it's great because I forget how many episodes it is. I mean, even if it's, we'll say 12, roughly 2/3 of the budget for the entire season feel like they went into the last 4 episodes, and it's fucking great. The tone, like, those episodes are amazing, even just on their own.
Yeah.
If you
Because I was thinking of just doing those, but then I'm like, if I'm gonna fucking do this thing, I might as well at least try to. If there's stuff that was good before this that made people actually want care enough to get here or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll find a nice mix of Ahsoka stuff and then like some of the clone stuff that makes it hit a little harder, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know, like
Good
just
times.
what are the good episodes?
Yeah. Man,
Are the episodes that's not gonna like
So-
just suck the life out of me?
This was a lot easier to do when I did a similar thing for Peter with Adventure Time. It was much easier to do for that show. Like, Peter, what do you hate about Adventure Time? He listed off like 5 things. I'm like, okay, well, skip this, like, just super easy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then at a certain point, just watch everything because it's all plot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of true with this as well. Like, there's...
Yeah.
just blow through that eventually they started caring.
Well, their audience got older.
I guess, yeah.
I feel like that's part of it with that stuff.
Or the audience, like, leaned into, like, certain episodes were drastically more popular and they leaned into that, I guess.
Or they got enough, or the writers got enough, like, leverage to tell a story.
Yeah. They sucked all the
instead
kids
of just
the writers
selling toys.
They put enough Jar Jar Binks in to get our good plots later. A soul for a soul, Hank.
A soul for a soul.
Anyway,
when was the last time you booted up Arena? That's my last question.
The other day when I was gonna make that deck to spite you to show how many mythics I had, and then I needed 8.
Yeah. I'm aware because like they're just like Paradox Engine and the 2-mana legendary Kenneth or whatever. Like, that's like 8 mythics that I didn't have before I built that deck.
I'm close though.
Actually, I had Kenneth because I had a different Kenneth deck right before that, but.
Mm-hmm.
That deck is really good. Also, I love it because it makes your opponent want to die. Because when you hit your combo and go off, you're just like fiddling with like, yeah, I'll sack this artifact, bring it back, create more mana, sacrifice it, bring it back, sacrifice it, bring it back, gain like 1 mana every time. Like I'm tapping like 4 things to gain 1 mana.
As hell.
And then I'll play a thing to draw, like I'll play an Uro to draw a card, and then maybe like, and then do some more, and then play another thing to draw another card, and just wait until I get like a chromatic sphere, and then every time I'm doing a chromatic sphere, I'm drawing a card, draw. Finally draw Karn, play Aetherflux Reservoir. Like you just like fiddling. It's like takes so fucking long because you like literally have to tap like 5 things to gain minimal advantage. It's so annoying to do in Arena. So the people who know better just concede. But like, I do have people who go good game and like, but they just want to see it. They just they feel compelled. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna be at this for a while.
Yeah,
and I don't know, I like doing that stuff, so I find it funny. But then like you do get like the way the timer works now, because if you're doing the same thing for too long, your timer will start to burn. So, there's some. I did have a game where I had to pass the turn just because the timer ran out on me.
Hell yeah!
I was not done doing things. I still won the game though. Still had enough. I accrued enough at board advantage that they couldn't kill me on the next turn or whatever. So I just got to go right back at it on my next turn.
Yeah.
Like the key is like you're still an Uro deck, so you can like still just attack and kill your opponent, but you have this like combo engine that just like can get off the ground pretty fast. That's fucking crazy. Like your explosiveness is pretty high for a deck that's also like pretty resilient. Like it doesn't have the issues like most of the artifact deck combo decks. Like they play an artifact hate card, you're done. Like you just can't do anything, or they play like a Narset and you can't do anything and you're done. This deck is the first one I've seen that's doing this thing that can fight through both of those things. Like you have enough non-artifact cards and you have enough like attackers that aren't just like about accruing drawing card value that you can push through a Narset.
Yeah, yeah. That was
Also, you get to
definitely
Karn for that fucking dumb Sky Sovereign vehicle that when it
right.
comes into play or attacks, it deals 3 damage. So you have like a 9 mana deal 3 damage spell effectively with every Karn.
Mm-hmm.
It's just funny. It's and you get to like now I'm playing the build that gets to have the fucking companion, the what's it called, the fucking elemental elk thing that taps for Woo-Urg, but you can only play that on colored spells.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah,
I don't fucking know. Call the Elky boy.
Gigantha.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's just I finally found the eggs deck that plays fucking Mox Amber and Emery.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like way more substantial, so it's actually good.
Yeah.
Because I've been staring for a deck like this since fucking Kaladesh Remastered came out, and they didn't reprint Inspiring Statuary, which would make things so much easier. And people have finally figured out this build.
I mean,
the funny part is like, so someone was playing like a version of it. I think it was Kai Buddha was playing in the like big Pro Tour event thing, the Zendikar Invitational or whatever it was called, because they keep changing the name of the. It was effectively the Pro Tour, but they keep changing the name of their events. But he didn't play Karn, and then people realized like Karn is just fucking really good. Karn makes this deck even better. So it's funny that like the one tournament player who played this and had success was like just playing a strictly worse version than people have already figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I cut it from Sultai down to Simic, so it's way more consistent. Because you just kind of don't need the black for the removal is like not that necessary when you have like when you can attack and you're this explosive. It's kind of still more worth it to just do your own thing and put the onus on the other players.
Yeah. Well, and if you have enough attackers and shit, or blockers also.
Or like, so. Well, just you have enough Uro to live through stuff till you can combo off.
Yeah, true.
It's just cool. I'm so happy I found the artifact deck that I actually like, because there's been the like mono brown Golos monument deck that's all about playing all the colorless planeswalkers like Ugin and stuff, like just huge mana stuff. But like if you don't get your 2 mana rocks at the beginning of the game, you're fucked. Like you just suck. So if that stuff gets destroyed, you're like that deck is just so fucking fragile.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of not. And that deck doesn't make people hate themselves. It doesn't destroy their will to live. Just the point of playing an eggs deck where you're just fucking fiddling with stuff and then you win somehow.
Yeah.
It's like KCI.
God.
I have heard people
KCI.
compare this deck to KCI. Like this might be the new KCI.
So it'll be
just
banned.
It has so many weird lines. Well, it took a while for KCI to be banned. Like fucking Matt Nass won like 2 events like Pro Tours or like big tournaments with it before anyone else even started playing it. Because KCI was like a nightmare. Like you had to, the way it actually worked was like weird with the rules and playing it in paper. Like playing this deck in paper would be a nightmare. Because like if I'm fiddling around with spells and then like later realize, oh, I can go get an Aetherflex Reservoir. It's really nice that Magic Arena knows how many spells I've played this turn. Because I sure as fuck don't. For how much life I gain off the next one.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's
Also, you can
definitely.
use Aetherflux Reservoir, so like perfect deck for me.
Oh yeah, it's a Hank deck, the Hank win
Uh-huh.
con. Is it like prevalent in the queue right now?
Um, I mean, it's getting more popular, but no, I would say no.
Okay. I mean, I would just if I recognize it, I'm out. I'm bailing.
I mean, what I am playing against is like blue-white control decks that use Gideon to make a Gideon emblem and then Force of Negation everything you do.
Mm,
Like that's what I'm playing against.
yeah,
They have the
that's
Gideon emblem, so they can't lose the game as long as they have a Gideon, and then they have a 0 mana counterspell.
yeah.
That's a fucking nightmare. But I could beat those decks, so that's why I felt okay. But they're like, again, it's like it takes a long time.
Hmm.
Games can be, I don't know. I don't know. I actually shot up from gold to platinum pretty quickly when I got on this build of the deck. So
Yeah,
I
I
did
mean,
that like yesterday.
like grindy games, but if you're winning them,
Yeah, yeah. Also, like, yeah, getting to platinum is like so much more achievable than getting to any other rank.
oh
'Cause
yeah,
you gain double rank. So
yeah, the double shit.
but that's a podcast.
That's like 2 podcasts.
Hell
We did
yeah.
like a double.
I mean, honestly, I think most of our pillars were long.
That sounds right.
Because, you just go on.
Yeah, man. There's always
Whatever.
something.
I'm excited to talk about Gamera next time, though.
I'm enjoying it very much. I was hesitant because I don't like. I knew about Godzilla, but I never. I haven't stepped outside of that safe spot, you know.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm ready.
How many of them you watched so far?
I
Where
did
are you?
I did the first 2.
Okay. Okay, the next 2 are where it really pops off. So
Nice.
I'm excited for you to
Nice.
see those. Those like I started with those 2 because I know they're better.
Hell yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna cut. We don't
Oh
have to
shit.
This episode doesn't get outros. This show.
Bless.